Today's video is precipitated by a very unique experience in my history of creating content around eco beauty products. I finished up 5+ toners, 6 if you count a travel size one, within the span of about 2 weeks. I've never finished up so many of one product all at one time. This is because I am a toner mist junkie, I guess. I use them very liberally in my skincare routine, and I also keep bottles of mists and hydrosols at work. I find it to be a very effective way of refreshing myself throughout the day, helping with my mood, helping with my energy, helping with my workflow. So I am a dedicated mist user. If you've been watching me for a while, you will know that I have a series on LAMOUR and Musique called The Lineup. Today's video is not like a real lineup in sort of the comprehensive longitudinal sense of me telling you every toner I've ever used. Although I have been keeping a list in my bullet journal of all the face mists and hydrosols that I have tried, and it's bigger than this list. This hasn't been updated lately. What I thought I would do is sort of a current toner lineup, because I have more than enough here to talk about with those that I've completed. And then I also thought that I would show you what I've been replacing that stash with. And then perhaps I can end with kind of some of my greatest hits toners. So this is sort of an abridged lineup for toners and face mists. Perhaps down the line I'll do like a mother load toner mist hydrosol, like every single one I've ever tried. But I just thought that this unique situation of finishing up a bunch all at once would make for a nice video. Before we get into all things toner, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who has been so supportive on social media of the collaboration that I have been doing with Beauty Heroes and Ayuna this weekend. It is still going on today if you are watching this video on Sunday. Starting last Friday, March 9th through today, March 12th, if you purchase a full size of Ayuna's Essence, which is their exfoliant gommage leave-on serum, or their Cream 1 or Cream 2, which is a moisturizer, you get a full size of their balm, which is sort of a volcanic ash mask, for free, which is $130 value. I'll have links down below if you're interested in going to check it out. It was just such a dream collaboration for me. Now on to the toner talk. I'll start with telling you just a little bit about my philosophy with toners. I really only started incorporating them into my skincare routine when I got into eco beauty, actually. Before that, I always thought that toners were for people with oily skin, right? Like the clean and clear, astringent toners that girls would use in high school, and I would try and use. It was just like dry my skin out to oblivion. So I never thought I really needed a toner, or like the Clinique 3-step system. I think that had a toning step. Then when I got into eco beauty, there were so many just like beautiful botanical mists and sprays. I really got into them more as like both a skincare routine, because I've seen what they can do to enhance a skincare routine, but also an aesthetic experience. And that part really came about through the Lotus Way mists. I forget what they call them. That was sort of my first experience with like an aura mist, or how a botanical flower mist can really change, redirect, elevate your mood. So with that said, there are big differences between sort of hydrosols, skincare toners, essences, aura mists, energy mists, that kind of thing. I'm not a skincare expert. I am basically just a lay person who's very enthusiastic about beauty products and loves to have a beautiful experience with my products, but I know the basics. In general, I try and avoid any sort of mist that has only water and no humectants, because, and by humectants that would be looking for things like aloe and glycerin in your mists. If you go for a mist that's only water with no humectant, you run the risk of, when the water dries down, it can actually leach the existing moisture from your skin along with it. When you have a humectant in a mist, it helps the water molecules to actually stick on the skin and sort of penetrate into the skin, I think. I'm sure that there will be people to correct me if that explanation is wrong. That's my understanding. I've also learned through, and we'll get to this, the IMC's Yen Heal and Hydrate Toner, which was the Beauty Heroes Hero product, or is the Beauty Heroes Hero product for March. I'm always a month ahead with Beauty Heroes, but it's this month's hero product. You might still be able to get it, actually. I'll have that link down below as well. This is more in the vein of a Korean essence, I've learned. So it's a very, very thick product that's sort of like a hybrid serum toner. It's like an amped up version of a toner. I did a whole review on this. where I talked about that. And the constituent parts of products like that help the antioxidants and the actives in it to penetrate deeper layers of the skin. And then you have your sort of aura mists like the Lotus Way mists. Actually, I haven't used them in a really long time, so I don't know if there are any humectants in them, but those are products more that I would just kind of be spraying basically like in my aura space, not even really directly on my face. Generally, as a rule, try to avoid anything with no humectants sprayed directly on my face with any regularity. With that said, I have tried so many over the years, and it's hard to find a good toner. It's hard to find a good one that you like the effect that it gives, that you would repurchase, because there are just so many. It's such a flooded market. And a lot of them are kind of like hover around a B, like they're solid and average, but they're not enough to make you want to spend $40, $50, $60 and repurchase again. There are very few that I have found that I would do that with. There are some, and I'll tell you about them. Let me tell you about what I have recently finished. In my home skincare stash, so those two were in my office. So I have 3 that were at home, 2 that were in my office, and 1 that was explicitly for travel. So at home, the 3 that I finished are the Marie Veronique Hypotonic, the Moon Anarose Toner, and the Hannah's Daughter Mineral Mist. Of the 3, my favorite by far is Moon Anarose. I actually also just did a whole 20+ minute Moon brand review where I talked very extensively about this. I basically love it. It's a total standout product from Moon for me, and it's a standout toner in sort of the compendium of toners that I've tried over the years. This is something I would repurchase for sure. I'm not going to belabor it too much more in this video because I talked so extensively about it in the Moon brand review, but just know that of this category of products that I finished up, this and one that I was keeping at work were my favorites of recent toners I've been using, and I've been using this one since about the summer. So it lasted about 7 or 8 months with regular use. Fine for morning or evening. And this is sort of fashioned in the image of a Japanese skincare toner, not meant to be necessarily a mist that you refresh with during the day. So it's sort of a dedicated skincare toner. Christina Holy Marie Veronique Balancing Hypotonic. It was in a disappointing products video. I anti-hauled these products. I really had a hard time getting through this, as well as the oil cleanser, which I'm on the last couple weeks of trying to finish up. I ended up having a facial at a place in Somerville, Massachusetts, Noelle's Herbal Skincare, and she did a whole Christina Holy Marie Veronique facial on me. That experience was really good. That said, I'm not sure that I would be buying any more of the products for myself, just because they were not that pleasurable to use. And as someone that doesn't have problematic skin, my skin is very normal most of the time. I just don't need products that are so catered towards a compromised, sensitized skin. But if you are, you might want to check out this line. The first ingredient in this is green tea extract, beta-glucan, panthenol, radish root ferment filtrate, elderberry. It just has a bunch of extracts, probiotic complex, and then apple cider vinegar, which is really the only thing you smell when you use it. It just essentially smells like putting straight apple cider vinegar on your face. The dispensing mechanism is not great. It's meant to be put on a cotton round, but I really dislike applying toners like that. I just feel that it soaks up and wastes a lot of product. So I would just pour and pat, which is not ideal for a product like this. The squirt or pour and pat on the skin method is much more suited to a product like Yen, which is more of an essence than a very liquidy, watery toner. Not the best packaging, not a super enjoyable experience. That said, did my skin do okay with it? Yes. Has my skin done okay with other toners? Yes. So this is not really something I would repurchase anytime soon. Okay, then this is the Hannah's Daughter Mineral Mist. I bought this on a whim at Folane because I had a gift card and I needed a toner. I actually go through toners very quickly, as you can see, and I usually have 2 or 3 going at once. This was difficult to get through. It was okay for like maybe the first quarter of the bottle, and then I just was sort of like, next. Like it was not memorable really at all. It does have glycerin in it, like Icelandic water, glycerin, and then it has a bunch of like minerals, Icelandic minerals in it, and it's supposed to help remineralize the skin. Well, I didn't notice anything miraculous about it. It didn't sort of, I know this sounds probably crazy to some of you, but it didn't vibrationally feel that special at all, which is sort of one of, I thought, supposed to be one of the selling points of this brand, and I just felt very little. It's supposed to hydrate, unveil new skin, reduce fine lines, increase collagen, minimize pores, and reduce redness. I mean, I think that that is really overpromising. Not something I would buy again, and unfortunately I don't think I can personally recommend it, but maybe other people have enjoyed this brand. Then I kept 2 toners at work. I was having a hard time getting through Stark Petrichor in my home skincare toning routine, so I sort of turned it into a during the day refresh mist. This is, I think, a true skincare step toner, and I don't have the ingredients in front of me, unfortunately, but the thing that always struck me about Stark Petrichor, first of all, it smells incredible. I covered this very extensively in my Stark brand review. It smells like vetiver, and it's which I love vetiver. Love like the woodsy unisex vetiver smell. I still have some in here actually. So super unique scent profile. Most toners toners and mists you're gonna find in Eco Beauty are very floral, very botanical, sometimes herbal, but they're overwhelmingly floral and botanical, rose, jasmine, that sort of thing. So to find a toner that smells like this is, I think, quite noteworthy, and it's meant to sort of synergistically work with the rest of Stark products. So if you are already a Stark skincare user and you use the products regularly, I think your experience and results from those products would be enhanced by using this as your toning step. You get a very generous amount of product for a very reasonable price. Stark is one of my favorite brands that I love to support. I'm good friends with the founder, and it's an amazing product. I would absolutely repurchase it. In fact, when she releases her reformulation of Aurora, I'm planning to pick up a jar, and I would like to get a replacement of this as well. It was beautiful as part of my skincare routine, and it was also beautiful as a mist during the day. The mist mechanism is super, super fine and diffused, and that's actually quite hard to find, I think, in toners. Like, so for example, the Moon Anarose toner is not a diffused mist. Most of these are not diffused mists. So the misting mechanism on the bottle is great. I hope that she hasn't changed it, and I can 10 out of 10 recommend this product. In fact, I was using this when I was on a random camping expedition last summer, and I remember one of my friends there, I was like misting this obsessively in the tent because I am not really a camping type of person, although I'm trying to be a little bit more open-minded and adventurous in my life. I was like misting this a bunch in the tent, and my friend was like totally obsessed. In fact, I might pick up a bottle for her because she liked it so much. Okay, then the other one I kept at work was the Damamiel Dewy Face Mist. This was basically relegated to my office because I did not like it as part of my skincare. I'm actually quite impressed that I finished the whole bottle. I got this because I had been hearing very good things about the brand, and it was featured in an Art of Organics box that I got last year, like a one-off. I bought it. And this also actually came with the Henné Organics Rose Diamonds Lip Scrub in the box, which I ended up really liking, so the box was not a total bust. My issue with Damamiel products, and I have said this before about them, is that there is a dampness that I detect in the products that feels like an out-of-sync match for me. If you're new to my beauty product musings, I kind of interact with products on these different sensory levels. Yeah, it's a very like holistic experience. So as someone that's also been into Chinese medicine for a number of years, seen an acupuncturist since like 2009, I've become a little bit, and also now studying astrology, you know, a lot of work with elemental theory and things like that. You sort of learn these more ancient techniques for sort of constitutional analysis. Dampness is a quality that I associate with these products. I'm not really sure why. Like, it reminds me of like a mossy rock in a forest, which might sound really appealing to some people because I think that we all have, sort of in the spirit of Ayurvedic doshas, for example, we all carry imbalances in certain categories. So if you're like excessively cold and constricted and dry, like constitutionally, then you might really like a damp product. It just didn't resonate with me. It's like a damp rose scent. I don't even know if I'm making sense talking about the dampness of a skincare toner, but that's the best way I can describe it. I've also sampled some other Damamiel products, and I detected the same quality that just wasn't a match for me. Like, I tried the cleansing balm, and it's almost like a sour element too, like a damp sour element, and I just have not really been that interested in the rest of the brand ever since. Okay. moving on. Lastly, I thought I would throw in a little travel toner that I recently finished. This is the Josh Roseburg Hydrating Accelerator. I think we all know and love this. The main reason I have it as my travel toner is because I think it's one of the only toners that you can get in a travel size. This is 2 fluid ounces, so it meets liquid restrictions. It's a very pleasant product to use. Again, similar to Stark Petrichor. It has a more unusual scent profile for a toning mist in that it's sort of a vanilla marshmallow smell. I know I've reviewed this extensively elsewhere. It was a sidekick in a Beauty Heroes product. I bought this one actually when I was starting to do a bunch of travel in the fall. Something I would always like to have. If you know of other travel-friendly skincare toners, let me know. This is also assisted, in my mind, positively by the fact that the misting mechanism is very nice and diffused. I will say it's not the most hydrating mist. I actually find that Stark Petrichor has more hydration. Even the Demamiel, even though I didn't like it, it was a little bit more hydrating, but it is slightly more hydrating than this was on me. So it's all sort of relative and very sort of ultra granular. I like it enough to keep using it, but the name is a bit of a misnomer to me, Hydrating Accelerator. I don't find it to be terribly hydrating. Okay, let me take a breath and regroup, and then we're gonna do basically like a little Mercedes Shops toner edition so you can see what I've been restocking my routine with. I will do a small plug in case you're interested, or not really a plug, but let you know several of the things here, or at least one of the things, I just unboxed on Instagram stories on Thursday night of this past week. I often will post about the mail that I get, both things that I order as well as PR that is sent to me, and I had just done a PR haul on my channel and I found myself with 4 other boxes to open, and I posted about it on Instagram. And people wanted to see, I didn't feel like I could do another PR unboxing here on YouTube, and people were like, just do it on Instagram. And I've also been self-conscious about having like a million white dots at the top of my Instagram stories, but I went ahead and did it. The response was really positive. I'm happy to do it, and it brings me so much joy that people enjoy it. If you didn't catch the Instagram stories, I string them together and repost them on Patreon, and that will be reposted early this week, probably. Okay, I'm being excessively verbose today, but let's talk about what I have been buying recently. I didn't buy this actually, but I already have another replacement for the Josh Roseburg Hydrating Accelerator for my travel skincare. This came in the Detox Market Best of Beauty Detox box that they did. I actually think it's still available. It's like the Detox Market's best-selling products of 2017 all in one box for like a very good deal. So that's where I got this. So I'm happy to have another one of these. Yen Heal and Hydrate fortuitously, serendipitously came in the March Beauty Heroes box as I was finishing up all of these toners. Obviously have reviewed this extensively. I'm liking it. In fact, my skin has been very dry the last couple of weeks, and I will say this has been helping. I've been using it morning and night. My relationship with it is deepening in a positive direction, I am happy to report. I know in my review I was like, we're gonna see. So it's going positively. That's the update on this. I also recently bought the Fitglow C Toning Mist. I heard raves about this from Sherry Stroh. I don't know how many of you follow her. She's a Canadian makeup artist. I'm friends with her on Instagram and I love her. Her commentary on the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics on figure skating and ice dancing was like the highlight to my Olympics. I'm not even joking. If you watched them, you totally know what I mean. So I was talking to her and I was like, I need new cleansers, I need new toners. And she really recommended this. Coupled with the fact that I was so blown away by the Beauty Heroes discoveries in February, like so blown away and loving those products to the nth degree. So I got this. I'm mixed on it right now. It smells like apple juice, like a non-sweet apple juice, which is a little odd. I've heard that the Juice Beauty toner smells a little bit similarly. This is, again, organic aloe vera, which was a huge selling point for me. It has a bunch of sea extracts in it, hence the name. It doesn't have the full ingredient list is printed on the box. I don't find it to be overly hydrating. Like the Yen hydrating toner is definitely more. I actually think this might be a little bit better suited for a more clear skin type that needs a little bit more balancing or clarifying. I'm not sure I would recommend it for dry side of normal skin types. I do also find that the misting mechanism could stand to be gentler. I have to spray in my hand and put on my face, which is not super ideal, but it's workable. I'll obviously have more extended thoughts as I get through it, but so far, verdict is out still. I have my favorite mist. This is just another one that I've had this for about a month now, and it's a repurchase. This is the Josie Maran Nirvana Hydrating Treatment Mist. Not truly eco, a little bit greenwashed, but this is the best product I have ever found for setting my makeup. And if I'm at home during the day, I will refresh during the day with this. It is a super, super fine micro mist, like the finest mist I've ever experienced in a misting product. It's like a gentler, to me, more pleasant version of like the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. I didn't like the lacquered appearance that that gave my skin. This just gives an extremely dewy, beautiful effect to the skin. It's $38. You get a ton of product that lasts forever because the misting mechanism is so fine, so it doesn't dispense a ton of product. It's amazing. I can't rave about it enough. Second jar. I hope they never stop making it. I panicked thinking that they did. These are two that I just bought. This is the one that got unboxed. And I bought this one. I showed this one on stories as well. Picked this up at Whole Foods when I was grocery shopping this past week after work, and both of these I actually got to keep at work, so sorry, I should have said that. These are going to be my home toners, the Fitglow and the Siam Seas. The Josie Maran is also a home toner, but I consider this more of like a makeup in my makeup corner product, and then this is for travel. Then I got two other mists to keep at work. This one I have never tried. This one I've tried, but it's been many years. Both are, I think, relatively similar in that they're a predominantly rose scented toner. Trilogy Hydrating Mist Toner. It was on sale at Whole Foods for, I believe, like $21 or $23. Of the brands that Whole Foods carries, I'm sort of the most, ooh, that's a nice diffused mist. Yep, it's sort of a, ooh, I like it. Yeah, it's a refreshing rose, I guess is how I would describe it. Again, my criteria is, does it have a humectant in it? And this is water, aloe vera leaf juice is the second ingredient, rose flower oil. I like that it's in a glass bottle. And I will say I have liked the other Trilogy products I've tried, the Gentle Face Exfoliant, and then I have their rose, a travel size of their rose hip oil that I've been liking. It's an, I believe it's an Australian brand, or New Zealand. Yeah, New Zealand, sorry. First impression is very good with this. And then I had a 20% off Derm Store coupon, and I saw that they carry Coquina, which I had no idea. Coquina was one of my first eco beauty brand discoveries back in like 2010 or 11, like very early eco beauty days. I do think that they make really exceptional products. I don't really remember much about this mist. You can see that you get quite a bit less product. It's 1.6 fluid ounces. And I think this is like $40 or $45, but I got 20% off, so I considered that to be a decent deal. And this is 3.3, so you get almost twice as much product with the Trilogy one. First ingredient in this is aloe vera leaf juice, and then the second ingredient actually is rose flower water. So the ingredients are sort of flip-flopped. First ingredient here is water, second ingredient is aloe vera, and then this is primarily aloe vera with the rose flower water as the second ingredient. Willow bark extract, which is a very gentle exfoliant. Aspen bark extract, similar. This also has glycerin, so I love that it has double humectants in it. Argan leaf extract, of course. You know, Coquina is such a beautifully crafted brand. I've met Catherine LaRue, actually, again, another super fine mist. Catherine LaRue is the founder of Coquina, and I met her at a Folane event like 2 years ago. She was very sweet and lovely, and I know she has a good relationship with Jeannie from Beauty Heroes and has hosted parties in New York for the Beauty Heroes community, like the brand ambassadors and stuff. This is like a sweet rose, whereas what did I say about this one? I forget, but this is definitely more, it has more of a sweetness to it, but I really like it. I might actually be tempted to keep this one at home for skincare and start working through this one at work for during the day misting. Okay, now the only other toner that's on my shopping list that is probably going to be an imminent purchase is the Omni Digital Detox Mist. Now when I first tried Omni, it's called the Silver Rich Botanical Face Mist. It's a $60 face mist toner situation. Probably the most I've ever paid for that kind of product, but it's probably my favorite that I've ever tried in my history of trying toners. It's stunning, like I still think about it to this day. So to bring it back to what I was talking about in the beginning, it takes a lot to want to repurchase a toner at a high price point, and the Omni original at least, that's there for me. It is to this day gold star. So they've subsequently come out with other versions of the face mist, and the digital detox one I thought would be really good to keep at work because I'm staring at an effing computer screen all day, much to my chagrin. I just thought it would be a really nice, luxurious, palliative supplement to my workday. So I have it in my beauty habit cart, and I think I'm probably going to purchase pretty soon. I have tried so many other toners, you guys. I'm just doing a quick scan to see if there's anything else from this list that's really worth telling you right now. Evan Healy hydrosols I won't really use anymore. I used to like them, but I won't really use them anymore because they're just water. But I do think that they're a very nice product if you don't care about having a humectant. In Fiore Vitale I adore. That's another very high-end one that I would love to buy again at some point. A full size of that one and you get a ton of product, granted, but it's like over $80. It's an investment, but beautiful. It's actually on par. It's more like an essence, I think, in Fiore Vitale. It's not quite as essence-y and viscous as Yen, but it's kind of up there. Yeah, I mean, I could go through so many others, but this video is already really long. I'm sort of curious about Jordan Samuel's Hydrate mist, but I know that he was having issues with the misting mechanism. So if I already know ahead of time that a mister is going to be too direct and not diffused, I'm gonna avoid, and I think he's trying to replace that. So that would be another one I would sort of try imminently. I think Laurel does really beautiful toners. The Kerry Grand toner I actually really like as well, and it's very simple. The Virid Organics toner is very unique. It's like a hibiscus water, and I actually found that one to be quite hydrating. More comparable to something like this, but much more pleasant to use and a sort of the same level of hydration as this. I actually do think that Tata Harper Hydrating Floral Essence is very nice, albeit very expensive. I actually liked that product before it was reformulated in the version that most people probably know Tata Harper as now, but her first generation Hydrating Floral Essence was a stunner. RIP. Okay, I'm gonna end on that note. I could keep going. So I hope you liked this current toner lineup. It's not as comprehensive as my other lineups, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. It's nice for me to do like a deep dive into sort of a more constrained group of products because then I can really get into the fine details, which I kind of love doing. All the information and links, everything you need to know if you'd like to procure any of these or anything I mentioned or references to other videos is down in the description bar. I hope you'll come follow me on Instagram because I'm going to have a midweek video up this week. It's going to include a giveaway with the Detox Market and Hint Beauty. So stay tuned. I'll have a video on Wednesday, a giveaway on Instagram on Wednesday, coming attractions. I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me. I realize that I'm coming up on my 4-year L'Amour et la Musique anniversary, which is kind of crazy, but also kind of amazing. And I'm so glad to be here and to have this amazing community of people. I will see you guys on Wednesday.